Hi, it's Joy with Enjoy It Healthy, and today I am making, or I already did make, but I'm going to show you how to make steamed buns using my ancient grain replacement flour. Okay, so I'm Filipino, and growing up we always called this Siaopao. You may have heard it called Bao Buns or Baozi, but there's steamed bun. We're going to make the dough, and typically they're filled with meat. I'm doing a plant-based filling today, but you can fill it with whatever you'd like, of course. And I just want to show you kind of the technique of making this beautiful and fluffy, yummy, look at that. It's like a meal in itself. Okay, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. And if you select all, you'll get notifications whenever I post new videos. To make our simple dough, I have 5 cups of my ancient grain replacement flour. And you know what it looks like. It's that. And it's very simple. We're just going to add half a cup of coconut sugar. You can use regular sugar. If you don't have that on hand, it will work. And 1.5 tablespoons of SAF instant yeast. Now there are 2 types. I'll put them down below. This is the gold SAF instant yeast. It's for softer doughs. The red one is for more crusty baguettes or things like that. Okay, so we've got, that's a tablespoon and a half-ish. Okay, I'm just gonna do a pinch of salt. I use pink Himalayan. This is avocado oil. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. And 2 cups of warm water. It's like warm to the touch. I took it from the filter and microwaved it for about a minute. We're gonna let this run for 5 minutes. I let that run for 5 minutes. If you have a KitchenAid, make sure you use your dough hook. And I'm just going to cover that. This is a Bosch Universal Plus. Anyway, so I'm going to, it's already kind of steaming up. So I'm gonna let that rise for 1 hour. So if you're using your KitchenAid, just cover it in plastic for an hour and either put it in a warm place or just set it on the counter. There's some heat already generated from the mixing. While we're letting that rise for 1 hour, I've got a little time to do the filling. Now you could certainly do whatever filling you want to do. If you like, I used to make this with shredded barbecue pork, or I loved short ribs, shredded beef short ribs. Oh my gosh, when they fall off the bone, you shred them up. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. But I'm going to do a plant-based, of course, filling using this field roast. It's a celebration roast. You've seen other, I have an Asian taco recipe here. And some organic vegetables, just a medley of different greens. I'm going to chop them up I'm going to chop this up in a small dice and chop this up into similar sized pieces, maybe like the size of a pea. I'm just going to use a simple sauce, coconut aminos, and I'm going to just get that on a cast iron skillet and cook it up and let it cool while I have this hour. We have our dough that's been resting for an hour, and you can see that it is puffy and all nice and risen. I'm just going to make it easier to pull it off, I'm just gonna kind of whirl it a little bit so I can get it out. And I'm going to turn it out onto this lightly floured surface. It's a fairly sticky dough, so feel free to use as much bench flour as you need. And I'm going to divide this into 18 even pieces and then make them sort of into a disc. So I just did a rough shape, and now we're going to take our cooled filling. I just want to say that I think I showed that I strained it. So you just want a filling that's not super wet, like liquid is coming out, because it'll seep out and mess up your dough. So you don't want it to be like dried out or anything, but this is sort of like, you know, slightly moist. It's cooled down, so it's easy to handle. And we've got our rolling pin to sort of roll this out. This is probably like a 5-inch circle maybe, and we're going to take just like not too much filling, because then you won't be able to close it. So you want about a tablespoon or so, and then you're going to gather the sides up like this, and we're going to just give it a twist like that. Okay, now they have to rise again, but you want to make sure, you know, nothing's going to pop open, you know, it won't pop open when you steam them. You want to make sure that it's still a little bit thick. The dough is so soft and pliable, but you don't want it, you want it to be about 1/4 of an inch. If it gets any thinner than that, the filling, especially if it's too wet, but the filling will start to break through, and then your bun is kind of destroyed when you go to steam it. Okay, so while we do our final rise, it should be like 20 minutes. You know, I started, these are the first ones I started, so when I steam them, I'm gonna move from this, you know, I'm gonna steam these first. Okay, but we do need a little bit of preparation for our steamer. Now this is a 10-inch steamer basket, and it's 2 tiers. You can see that there's like a little, this is the bottom, there's a little lip there, and you just need some kind of pan that you can put water in, and, you know, because it doesn't go very high, and you don't want it to go above this point here. Okay, so you just want the steam to come through. We don't want the buns to stick to the bottom of each layer, so I just take a piece of waxed paper, and you can do however you want to, but we're going to cut little squares, and that will prevent it from sticking. Make sure that when you put these on here, they just go like that, and that will prevent the sticking. We've got the water, I don't know if you can see that in here, but the water is starting to boil and bubble, which is going to create that steam. So we're going to cook 3 on each layer. So we're going to do 6, we're going to steam 6 at a time, and they steam for about 15 minutes. Okay, so you can see the steam, 3 bottom. That next basket on top, and 3 more, and put the cover on, and we'll see them in 15 minutes. See, oh yes, okay, so we're gonna lift those out. You want to find the wax paper. I'm just gonna lift those out, and they're gonna set them aside. Oh, they're so pretty. That one. Whew, hot. Okay, we'll take our second layer. You want to make sure that these got a little close. that they're not too close so that they don't stick together. Whoop, that one fell off. Okay. The other thing you want to make sure is that you want to make sure the water's not too high, but you also want to make sure that the water isn't too low. You can kind of see one of these I burnt because I didn't realize the water was so low. So anyway, let's do another batch. Okay, so here they are. You want to make sure you take off the little wax paper on the bottom, but look at how fluffy this is. I hope you'll try this recipe and try my ancient grain replacement flour. I know it's I'm showing you all these different recipes on how to use this, and it just works, and it's so much more nutritious, and it has a great flavor to it as well. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and don't forget to select all, because that will get you notifications anytime I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.